Former US President Donald Trump is on very shaky ground. Indicted for a historic 4 times now, Trump will be turning himself in to police in Georgia to face charges for trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the state. Trump and 18 others will be booked at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta before being arraigned at the courthouse.
Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long.
Unlike his prior legal entanglements involving the January 6 insurrection, classified documents and hush money, this Georgia case brings a whole new set of problems to Trump's doorstep. For starters, this is the only trial that is likely to be shown on television. The main accusation leveled against Trump and 18 other defendants is that they violated Georgia's version of the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act law. The other defendants include Mark Meadows, Trump's former White House chief of staff, and lawyers Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman.
Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump, Rudolph William Louis Giuliani, John Charles Eastman, Mark Randall Meadows, John Cheeseborough, Jeffrey Clark. The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result. Subsequent to the indictment, as is the normal process in Georgia law, the grand jury issued arrest warrants for those who are charged. I am giving the defendants the opportunity to voluntarily surrender no later than noon on Friday, the 25th day of August, 2023. I remind everyone here that an indictment is only a series of allegations based on a grand jury's determination of probable cause to support the charges. It is now the duty of my office to prove these charges in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt at trial.
The case was filed over a phone call that Trump made on the 2nd of January 2021 to Georgia's top election officer. Trump urged the election officer to find enough votes to reverse his narrow loss in the state, but the request was declined.
Look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
4 days after that phone call, Trump supporters attacked the US Capitol in a bid to stop Congress from certifying Joe Biden's victory. Trump is facing 13 charges in all in the Georgia case, including making false statements, forgery, and soliciting a public officer to violate their oath. But it's under the racketeering charge that Trump could face up to 20 years in prison. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, who charged Trump, is adamant on holding the trial within the next 6 months.
I make decisions in this office based on the facts and the law. The law is completely nonpartisan. That's how decisions are made in every case. To date, this office has indicted, since I've been sitting as a district attorney, over 12,000 cases. This is the 11th RICO indictment. We followed the same process. We look at the facts, we look at the law, and we bring charges.
An American president has the power to pardon people accused of federal crimes. But that wouldn't matter in the case of Trump's latest legal troubles in the state of Georgia. Even the governor of Georgia can't pardon the state-level charges. Instead, the state has an independent board that issues pardons, but such requests can only be made 5 years after a sentence is served.
Every time the radical left Democrats do this and the Marxist, communist, fascist indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor because I'm being indicted for you. I am being indicted for you. I don't like that deal so much, by the way. I don't like that deal, but that's okay. No, I'm being indicted for you. I'm being indicted because of what we've done, and I'm being indicted because they're afraid of all of us, because we have a movement that's never been seen in the history of our country. Make America great again, MAGA.
Trump will be turning himself in at the Fulton County Jail, an old and dilapidated structure where inmates are faced with unhygienic conditions. But Trump will be no ordinary defendant. The entire process has been expedited in his previous 3 arraignments, and it's unlikely to be different in Georgia. Whenever he has arrived at courthouses, Trump has had his basic information and fingerprints taken like any other defendant. But then he has been whisked away to a courtroom surrounded by Secret Service and US Marshals. He has not had a mugshot taken, nor has he ever been handcuffed. While the latest indictment won't help Trump, it won't hurt him either. Polls show Trump as the clear favorite to be the 2024 Republican presidential nominee, and his supporters are convinced that he's the victim of political persecution.
They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just standing in their way, and I will never stop standing in their way. You're going to be protected. I promise you this. If you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation right now.
What's clear is that Trump's court and campaign schedule is looking jam-packed, and it could take a toll on any candidate, let alone someone with the political durability of Donald Trump.